These are some of the craziest looking vegetables that I've ever grown, and I'm so excited to show you how to grow these from seed right through to harvest, including some of the many ways that you can make use of these incredible versatile vegetables that are prolific and very easy to grow. So let's rewind back to when all of these tromboncinos were just a small handful of seeds in my hand. It is late spring right now, and here we have our tromboncino seeds. I'm so excited about growing these because not only can you use the fruits when they're young and immature, but you can also let the fruits reach maturity and then store them for many months and use them all through the winter. I'm planting these around an inch deep in some seed raising mix and then just giving them a nice water in, and I'll leave them somewhere warm to sprout. Easy as. After 2 weeks, they've grown into these beautiful little seedlings and they're now ready to plant in the garden. One of the things I love about these plants is that they're a vine that can climb pretty well, and that can really add some interest to the garden. So I'm planting these underneath this DIY bamboo trellis I made, and it's in a nice sunny location which should suit the plants well. I'm starting off with just spreading out a bit of fresh compost, and I'll cover that with some straw mulch to protect the soil and help keep the moisture in over summer. I'm also going to add a bit of sheep manure pellets around the base of the plants to encourage some earthworms and nourish the plants. The roots are looking so nice and healthy, but I don't want to disturb it too much, so I'll just be carefully putting these in. And then last thing, I thought I may as well give them a bit of seaweed fertilizer to help out with any transplant shock and give the plants a boost. Now to watch them grow. Okay, it's been another 3 weeks and these plants are looking so good and healthy, and they've just got such beautiful leaves. So far, so good. Alright guys, so it is crazy that it's only been 1 week since the last update, and look at this growth. I feel like I've just turned my back for a second since it's been raining all week, and they've obviously just been loving the rain because they've taken off. I do need to give them a helping hand to attach them to the trellis and get them climbing, but I'm mostly just using their strong tendrils to attach them onto the ropes, which works pretty well, and in a few places a few cotton ties are helping out as well. Have a look at this one here. You can see where the vines have been touching the ground because they've put down these roots. So I guess if you leave these to grow along the ground instead of climbing up something, then you could end up with an even stronger and more robust plant because they can put roots down in different places along the stem. After another week, the vines are nearly at the top, so I wanted to use some bamboo to add to the final part of this bamboo trellis. I'm going to give these plants a little boost as well with some organic liquid fertilizer, which should help to keep them growing strong. We're at a stage now of 2 different looking types of flowers forming on these plants. So each plant produces both female and male flowers, and they look very different from one another. So these ones here are the female flowers, and although this one hasn't even opened yet to be pollinated, it's already developed quite a large ovary at the base of the flower, which will form into a fruit once the flower opens and is pollinated by the male flower. The male flowers typically form near the base of the plants, and there's often a lot more of them than the females, and you can see that these ones have no ovary at the base of them, they're just attached to a thin stem. But actually, let's fast forward to when these flowers all open up, because I really want to show you a couple of things about them, including how you can use them for something pretty awesome as well. To start things off, it can be good to know how to hand pollinate these, just in case there's not many pollinating insects around doing it for you, or if you encounter any issues with fruit formation. Here's how it works. I just take a male flower off the plant, and if you remove the petals, down in the center you'll see this single long stamen, and this is the part that's responsible for producing pollen. Next, take the stamen and gently rub it onto the stigma of a female flower. And the stigma is just the part of the female flower that essentially serves as a landing platform for the pollen, and this process basically ensures the successful development of a fruit. Now that we've got pollination covered, I really want to try something fun, stuffing and deep frying these male flowers, which are perfect for this use thanks to their large size and how many of them we've got. So let's get some ingredients together to make the stuffing for the flowers. I've really been enjoying cooking lately because, like gardening, it's kind of a creative outlet for me, and it also allows me to stay present, which I find is really good for my mental health as well. And speaking of mental health, today's sponsor is BetterHelp, and I'm actually really excited to be talking about them today because BetterHelp has been a therapy service that I've used for quite a few months now, and it's really helped me with the struggles that I've been going through over the last year. And yeah, it's been really tough, and I got to a point where I knew that I needed to reach out and find support. So yeah, I signed up with a therapist on BetterHelp, and it's been really, really helpful to get me to a better place mentally. Snowy's come to say hello. She always seems to join me while I'm filming. What's awesome about BetterHelp is that their mission is to make therapy more affordable and more accessible. This is a really important mission because sometimes it can be really hard to find a therapist, especially when you're limited to the options in your area. BetterHelp's a platform that makes it easier to find a therapist because it's online, it's remote, and by filling out a few questions, BetterHelp can match you with a professional therapist in as little as a few days. What do you reckon, Snowy? It's easy to sign up and get matched with a therapist. I've got a link in my description. It's betterhelp.com/TheKiwiGrower. And clicking that link helps support this channel, but it also gives you 10% off your first month with BetterHelp, so you can connect with a therapist and see if it helps you. So please just remember to look out for one another and look out for yourself as well. That's really important. And if you are struggling and want to find a way forward, consider online therapy with BetterHelp. Click the link in the description box or visit betterhelp.com/TheKiwiGrower. Cheers BetterHelp, and now let's go and fill up those flowers with some pesto and rice and sun-dried tomatoes. So I'm just cutting these little spiky bits off the flowers and removing the stamen from the middle as well. This is just one of the options of what you could stuff these with. You can get creative with it, but yeah, this is a good plant-based option where you can hopefully also use some basil from your garden since it grows in the same season. The batter is super simple. It's just half a cup each of flour and corn flour and 3/4 of a cup of sparkling water, and you just mix that all together and whisk it up until it's smooth. Okay, let's coat these flowers in the batter. And I've heated some oil up as well, so we are ready to go. Look at it go. Oh, that's so cool. It should only take around a minute or so to cook. Okay, they're looking good now, so I'll just get them out and drain them on a paper towel. I'm honestly so shocked how good these look. I really didn't expect them to turn out this well, but I'll just top them off with some salt, fresh basil, pine nuts, and a squeeze of lemon juice. All right, here goes. Let me give this a try. Yum. These are so good. They've got a really nice crunch to the outside with that good zingy flavor from the lemon, and a really nice summery sort of flavor on the inside. So yeah, such an awesome little snack or an entree to serve. And yeah, hope you guys give this a try. So we're getting later into summer now, and we have quite a few fruits that have formed and are getting to a pretty decent size. This one here is getting a bit heavy and bending the vine over, so I tied it up with a mesh bag just to take the weight off a bit. I also have a few of these plants growing in the food forest, just doing their own thing. One's growing along the ground, and one's managing to climb a tree on its own, and there's some nice fruits on those plants as well. You can harvest these fruits really at any stage. If you harvest them now during the summer when they're green and immature, they can basically be used in the same way as zucchini, but they're a little bit more firm and a little sweeter as well. And the other good thing is that the neck of them is always free of seeds. And although these are really nice eaten at this stage, I also grow zucchinis in summer, and I'm already up to my eyeballs in them. So I'm going to leave the tromboncinos to mature on the vine so that I can store them and use them over the winter when the zucchinis are finished. So for now, I'm just enjoying seeing these plants grow over the structure and the interest that they bring to the garden. Okay, so as you can see, the vines have mostly died back now, and the fruits have changed to a pale orange colour. That means they're mature and ready to harvest, so let's go through and pick these all off the vine. When you cut them from the vine, ideally you want to leave a bit of the stalk intact to help it last well in storage. And this one here is massive, and honestly it could probably be made into like a 4-course meal. But actually, why don't we try and do that for the cooking segment of this video? We'll make a 4-course Tromboncino meal and see how that goes. Unfortunately, 2 of the small fruits were sitting against the ground and a cheeky rat has discovered them. So do be careful with that and try and keep them away. But at least they've only gone for the seeds inside, so if I cut that off, then the whole neck of the fruit can still be used. As for the plants in the food forest, they also developed some nice fruits. Some of them had grown to like a nice mature size, but they were still green in colour. But the good thing was that despite me harvesting them at this stage, they were still able to develop the colour later on and be able to be stored for many months. Now if you're thinking, what on earth am I going to do with these things? Well, let's get into this 4-course meal. After some time in the kitchen chopping, peeling, cubing, grating, slicing, boiling, roasting, layering, and some other stuff, we are ready for the first course. So starting with soup, this one's got tromboncino, carrot, garlic, red onion, salt and pepper, and veggie stock. It's really, really good. The tromboncino is a little bit like butternut pumpkin, similar type of flavour, but yeah, really tasty soup. So good. This one's tromboncino Asian style stir fry with tromboncino fritters and homemade plant-based tartar sauce. Let's give it a try. Oh, this is really good. It works super well with those Asian flavours in the stir fry, and in the fritters it works really well. They hold together really nicely. Yeah, definitely give this one a try. It's really good. Yum. Alright, so the main is plant-based lasagna with roasted tromboncino. Looks so good. Oh wow. That is really, really nice. The tromboncino in there really adds like a nice silky texture and a really good taste. Pretty nice way to incorporate it into your meals. It's so good. So we even have a dessert today. This is tromboncino pie. And if that sounds weird to any of you, just imagine like pumpkin pie and all the traditional flavors that come with that, like cinnamon and nutmeg and peanuts and that type of thing. So here we go. Oh damn, that is really good. I feel like the tromboncino gives a real lightness, whereas I feel like pumpkin is maybe a bit of a heavier type of thing. I'm definitely gonna finish this piece off, even though I've had 3 other courses and I'm pretty full. This was all made from just the one tromboncino and there's still this much left. So it's pretty amazing how far they can go and just all the different things you can do with them. So I hope this video, right from seed through to harvest and then cooking some of these delicious meals, has really inspired you to give these a go. Anyway, I'm gonna go eat the rest of my pumpkin pie and I hope you guys have an awesome rest of your day. If you wanna check out some other videos, have a look over here. All right, cheers guys.